Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 with some of the youngest players, but also probably not coincidentally the best. First, the 17-year-old Zerg player from Italy. 500 APM is low for him, and second place in any tournament is also low for him. It's Reynor. And in the bottom right, the 18-year-old Frenchman. Will this be his breakout year? He's been right on the edge for a couple years. He's been picked up by Team Liquid. We'll have to see. But impressing almost everyone, if not everyone lately. He has one more opportunity right here. It's Clem. Both players, I would say, and this is kind of a stereotype of younger players, like teenage players, incredibly focused on aggression, not necessarily like to a fault, but if you can find a way to attack, no matter how difficult it is or how micro-intensive, they will do it. Both Clem and Reynor embody that nearly, like they set the tone for that. Both of them are players who, if I see a way to put some damage on you, I'm not going to sit in my base. I will get there, one way or another. So, I'm excited. And we're starting on Golden Wall, which I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how most, like apparently I made it through whatever veto process they had. But it's definitely not your standard map. It is, there's essentially two different, there's the overworld and the underground, which are separated by a couple gold bases you can mine from either side, but gas only on one side. A mineral wall. Mineral walls at the back of the mains. Drops and medevac play become very strong in certain scenarios, but same goes for things like Mutalisks. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of those things in this match. I haven't really seen Clem play much mech, but it may be on the table. He's not... Bio gives you more options for aggression more of the time. Not all of the time. There are scenarios where things like Hellions and Cyclones are the only way to get damage done. But Bio is definitely the more micro-intensive unit composition. Oh, the Creep Tumor. He's going to go up to the top. He wants the Creep Tumor. The grenade was on point, but the Zerglings were there to block it out. It's going to be Hellions. Starting out with the 1-1-1. We're going to see Battle Cruiser. Honestly, for a player like Clem, I wouldn't be surprised for maybe Cloak Banshees. Oh, he wants that creep. You can tell he wants the Creep Tumor so bad. He wants it so bad. He just took a little too much damage. And on this map, there's not great options. Like, getting to your third is a little difficult. Reynor's going for a second gas and a lair, which means we're not going for that 3-base, sit back, make a bunch of queens. Is it going to be Mutas? Is it going to be Nidus? Is it going to be Battle Cruisers? No, Ranged Liberators, Winter, obviously. 2 years ago, you would have laughed at me for saying Battle Cruisers. Now you laugh at Ranged Liberators. How the turntables have turned. Watch it be ranged. Honestly, I don't know if Ranged Liberators are... They might have a spot. Some maps have pretty disgusting Ranged Liberator spots that are almost impossible, if not impossible, to hit via ground. Though Ranged Liberators did get slightly nerfed in range. So, not as Ranged Liberators is now the upgrade name. Not so advanced ballistics. Oh, Clem, stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna get a Creep Tumor with this Reaper. He mined through the mineral patches. Now, is he gonna use mules? He mined through the mineral patches with the, they're only 5. They only take 1 trip, so 2 SCVs can do it. I don't know. That was a way too dramatic gasp. It's something I feel players just aren't doing that they really should. Just open that area up if you're scared of it. Meanwhile, Reynor, mute us. That... Oh, the things are ready. Only one Hellion goes down, despite diving that deep. He now has the option to dive down there if he needs to. But, of course, it's still quite a choke point near that mineral wall. Third base on the way. I think Clem is going to suspect something. Like, that third base is pretty late, and he's seen almost nothing else. He uses a scan, help kill these creep tumors. Be easier in the next patch. Excited for that, actually. Yeah, if those creep tumors were light, all of them would die. For those, I saw a few comments like, well, don't Hellions just kill creep tumors anyways? Yeah, if you creep spread like a diamond player. But Reynor's over here with 4 creep tumors per wave, no problem. Also a dead Overseer as the battlecruiser flies across. Is he going to use... I'm not sure how he's going to use it. Mutas show up to the party. Not enough that the battlecruiser is going to turn around, and since he's not just jumping it in, good precaution there. He splits up. The Reaper's still a lot. Clem just keeps... Oh, split, and... No. Somehow only like 1 or 2 Hellions died. Well, now, of course, obviously, they're going to die. Turrets are up, but the best defense against Mutas is a good offense. He can't really move out with Marines right now, but the battlecruiser is in the main. These Queens don't have that much energy. I think they already used the transfuse. The battlecruiser may be able to win this fight. Now, of course, it needs to be careful. Looking for the Queens. Targets one down. The Queen micro is as good as it's going to get. Queen's a little too thick to micro too hard. The battlecruiser just kills, slaughters 4 Queens. The King Henry of battlecruisers. And he's going to jump home because there's still work to be done. There's still Queens out there. Just one. The Reaper and Hellion in solidarity. Just chilling. Bermuda's finding an angle. And there is... Clem's going for the gold. Which... He's really going to need to manage his units well, or it's going to be super annoying for Reynor with his mutas. Oh, never mind. From downtown. Holding on to this base against mutas is a real pain unless you have it well established. Like, he cannot afford the time it takes to set this base up unless he's already driven back the mutas. Already another factory on the way. I think we're going to see Thors, maybe? Obviously, Drilling Claws, Widow Mines, but a couple Thors mixed in. Usually, once you go mutas, the downside of mutas is they're quite expensive. So once you go mutas, you're kind of stuck on mutas. One way or another, you're going to have to make that tool work for every occasion. And mutas can do a lot of things, but what they can't do is survive for very long against any sort of real army without support. So now Clem, embracing that best defense is a good offense strat. Getting out on the map, forcing the mutas back and cutting them off in the process. A couple of them bruised, bloodied, and now beaten down. 2-2 is on the way. Reynor still struggling to his 1-1. The income right now, Reynor finally got another round of drones. Oof. Has just enough mutas to target down the Widow Mines in time. Clem has cleared the creep. He's pushed it back for now. Battlecruiser coming in again. Muta's looking for an opportunity. There's only one turret at this base. Now, if the Mutas aren't with the army, he can push further forward. And also, of course, the battlecruiser has now killed another queen. Targeting the Baneling nest, that has to be a misclick. The drones are definitely the better target. Meanwhile, the Mutas are almost base trading. Oh, there's not Drilling Claws, the Widow Mines. Reynor negating them pretty well so far. Clem coming up, looking for any opportunity. There's just too many Banelings. There's too many Banelings right now. He's trying to really get a nice Widow Mine shot off. Meanwhile, the battlecruiser has killed most of the stuff that remained at the natural. Here come the Mutas back. Battlecruiser jumps away. Clem making a whole lot of progress here. Reynor struggling to get any more upgrades. Widow Mine finds another connection. Drilling Claws is nearly complete. Mutas. A lot of bruised Marines, but if they're all together, strength enough. Is that the Reaper? No, the Reaper lived this long. Oh, wait, that's a second Reaper. That was an accidental Reaper. I don't... The Reaper lived that long only to die to random mutas. No, I don't know why he made a Reaper. Sometimes you got that Dorito dust on your fingers and things happen. Drilling clause is done. None of the Widow Mines connect. Great target fire. Meanwhile, big counterattack as Clem thrusts through the middle of the map. The creep push back to the bases, but is there enough to deal with the Lings? Widow Mine takes out a chunk. The Mutas are going to combine. Great counterattack, but there were Widow Mines here as well. Looking for the battlecruisers. Clem scrambling back home. He's still going to maintain a pretty solid supply. The 4th command center, the SCV, under duress, will finish the command. More Widow Mines connecting. The Muta count has dropped down to 13. He's building some more. Oh, he goops the command center and tries to take it out. I mean, that's not a command center. That's a star. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Watch out, watch out, watch out. 18 SCVs. Not all from that, but many. Another 22 in the last minute. Suddenly, Clem, he thought he cleaned it up, but it was the stragglers that he really had to worry about. But pushing forward, still a bigger army. A little bit on creep, though. Dangerous. It's 2-2 against 1-1, but +2 carapace is about to finish for Reynor. He's been buying himself time and a whole lot of space. Battlecruiser jumps. To the army? Where did the battlecruiser jump to? To the top left corner! The Mutas have to scramble there. Clem making some more progress. This base isn't up yet. Beautiful spread. I can't believe it's not butter. Medevacs are almost out of energy, and the Marines aren't even full HP. That kind of tells you, no, 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 no! He's on creep. So many Marines. The Medevacs with no energy just kind of sitting idly by as Clem's forces are almost entirely cleaned up. The battlecruiser as well. Reynor takes a significant victory, but the base was taken out. The Medevacs get out. They need energy. Of all the things. Bring back Caduceus Reactor. Oh, I don't usually feel that old. Well. Oh, that's maybe not the place to be. Those 2 mines make those turrets much more survivable. Still Clem keeping up the supply. He hasn't started 3-3 upgrades. Oh, the target. 1 shot comes off. That's big. Scans looking for bases. The underground has yet to be unlocked. There's still DLC content in this game if they pay enough minerals. Oh, the Widow Mine's huge. But he drags it away. Is it enough? The command! Planetary down. 10 more SCVs, but Clem still has... He has 30, 40 more army supply. He's got to do something. Clem has to go. He doesn't have the upgrades. He doesn't have the bases. This is it. He's got to make progress or win with this attack. He's running out of time as Reynor is pulling away from him in income. But the army value is as big as it's going to get. The advantage is as big as it's going to get with that income. There are 16 mutas, a bunch of Lings and Mains. That's it. A well set up Clem army has a lot of potential. The splits are good, of course. More drilling claws mines. He's on the creep. He hasn't spent a scan. I think he just dropped mules. Still, great spreads. Reynor struggling to find any real connections here. Meanwhile, oh no, 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 no! All the Banelings! Besides those, like, 5 left over, but Clem's still making progress. Diving onto the creep. There are only so many Banelings left over. A few more rolling down past the Marauders. Some from the natural. Intercepting. The Thor's looking to go to work. The Widow Mines are recharging. Still a lot of damage being done. The Thor tanked a whole bunch of damage from the Mutas. Reynor's pushed back to his 3rd. Does he have anything in the natural? More Banelings. 1 Widow Mine involved. Another one drawn away by a very fortuitous Zergling. That Widow Mine was almost... Oh, a big shot! And a Thor from the south. Where were you this whole time? Oh, no. That Widow Mine's big. He splits the Banelings at the last second. Those drones transferring in a very dangerous scenario right now. Reynor's at 600 APM, Clem pushing 400 average. Of course, building Zerglings and Banelings. All more Widow Mines, Clem finding more damage. Reynor suddenly on the ropes. Wings running by. This is the main command center. SCV's still confused as to what they should be doing, but finally some counter damage from Reynor here. He lifted the main. A sign of desperation, but not necessarily that the game is anywhere close to over. Still no 3-3. Still no 3-3 from Reynor because he's still stuck on Lair. Both players stuck on Marine, well, units that start with M, and also Zerglings and Banelings. And also Thors. And also technically Widow Mines don't start with M. Stop talking. SCV's transferring. Reynor still at a healthy enough drone count, but the income advantage has been cut. Clem finally finds space to start his +3 attack. He's got plenty of gas, but that has a tendency to happen with bio. The meter count, 13, not a one-shotting turrets number. Doesn't have just +1 air attack. He's giving Reynor a lot of space to breathe, but Clem is really reestablishing his economy right now. Will Reynor ever go hive? Working on the production. This planetary's halfway done. Clem saying, if I can keep that, that is the most important thing here. Changeling's easily taken out. Zergling's looking for an opportunity. Oh, the splits weren't perfect. Instead, almost all, and there were two. He saw one. Almost perfect splits from Reynor there, but almost perfect doesn't cut it. Both players have decided they punched each other in the face enough, and it's time to take a breather. Reynor realizing that if he tried an all-out attack, he runs the severe risk of losing. And Clem, that his economy... Essentially, if he didn't reestablish his economy, he's all in. But both players are able to reestablish. Reynor stuck on Lair Tech. Clem is edging towards 3-3, but we're maxed out. Let's go. Next round, let's fight. Scans. Clem, no reason not to attack the north. Oh, this army. The Widow Mines are going to kill Marines and... Well, oh, actually, he saves the Marines! At the last second, this base is obliterated. But Marines at the back, some counter damage here. Plenty of Lings and Banes protecting another one. The orbital command does survive, and those mules are going to be valuable to the north. He actually targets down a few drones here. Widow Mine connects. The Muta's not able to come together quite quick enough. The mine's zoning just enough. Marines have to micro back. That Widow Mine sniped off. There's another one at the back. There always seems to be just one more, keeping Clem going. Meanwhile, Lings and Banes heading up towards this planetary. That's a lot of Banes. I think enough to kill a planetary. Oh, wait, but some of them hit a Marauder, and suddenly not enough. And suddenly the rest. Who's flanking who? It's still unclear as the armies come together in the center. Clem moving forward. I think he's found a little bit of his footing here. The Muta's still looking for an opportunity, but this gold base is essentially defunct at this point. The orbital's valuable, but there's only a handful of minerals left. Looks like that's going to go down. But that opens up an opportunity for Clem to move forward. Clear some of the creep. A couple changelings there as well. Clem is holding the center. Reynor trying to go around him, but he's running out of space. Oh, the Widow Mine hidden by the starport connects with all of the Mutas. They will heal. Zergling counterattack, but is Reynor ready? This time, well, they kill Zerglings and SCVs alike. 8 kills. Meanwhile, Liberators kill a couple from Reynor. Kill a couple drones. Mules down. This base is cleared up. Meanwhile, Reynor coalescing in the middle of the map. He doesn't have creep, but he has a whole lot of units and even a Predator drone in there. Widow Mines finding connections. Liberators, Mutas, Lings, and Banes are heading north. The Mutas are kind of left by the wayside. Oh, the Banelings just trickle in and the planetary's gone. It's gone. +3/+3 is done. +2 mech weapons. Clem is maxed out with 154 army supply. Reynor just gambled that he could hold. He gambled that I don't need that army supply. If I kill his economy, I can win the game. But the Mutas are being cut off on the back. Clem is well set at the front. Reynor is scrambling. He's desperately trying to find damage. He doesn't have much time, and he can only afford to lose maybe one base. And he's going to lose one base. The mutas. Oh, the Widow Mines! They've been here the whole time, and they continue. Another command center finds its way into the top right corner, but Reynor is running out of income here. That doesn't reflect it very well, does it? As Clem is down to 36 workers, a group of Marines is chasing down those mutas. How does Reynor break this, though? Especially down 70 army supply and 2 upgrades. Like, this is the scenario, like in Heart of the Swarm, where if the Zerg is kind of on a clock. Once the Terran maxes out with 3-3, that army just, mutas have there's nowhere that's safe. There's no good trades to be had. Thankfully for Reynor, he did hamstring Clem's economy. Clem isn't producing anything because he has all the upgrades and he's maxed out. As soon as he loses a couple, we'll throw a few more in. Liberator going to do what the Marines and Marauders could not. Muta's looking for an opportunity. Clem not risking everything, not putting all his Marines in one Baneling-filled bucket. He's splitting his army for maximum efficiency, and Reynor is crumbling. Oh, wait. As I say it, the Widow Mines have some solid return fire, but still, when Banelings attack, they die. Clem has money in the bank now, and Reynor's dipping under 150. Trying to... Oh, the Widow Mines hit the mutas. I don't know if Reynor was trying to draw them in, but the Marines and Marauders standing tall on the edge of the creep, splitting back, bringing it back together, focusing fire, and that's it. Clem, to a single J, holds the line. Reynor was 662 to Clem's 391 actions per minute. But Clem committing just the right amount in the right spot at the right time. That was game 1. And now, the most annoying thing that you could possibly do to casters. They've switched colors. Thankfully, it's not a mirror matchup, so it's not so bad. But in the bottom left is Clem showing some classical Terran versus Zerg. And Reynor. Mutas, even though mutas on that map, I think make a lot of sense. Like, mutas are just, you struggle against a player of that caliber, against Clem. Someone who's going to manage their bio and not lose a bunch of units to Banes if they're not looking for a second. It's an uphill battle. Fun's mildly intended with the mutas to make it work. You're really relying on catching him out of position and swarming them. But Clem never really let that happen. Even when he took damage, he was dealing it back. This music is not reflecting the situation very well. The swarm is coming until it hits too many Widow Mines. You see, here's the issue when Manx was defending Core Hall. If Manx had Drilling Claws Widow Mines instead of siege tanks. But Manx is kind of a noob. So, that's his fault. Then Kerrigan would have been screwed.
Who does that?
What it... Wait. It's an engineering bay block. This has definitely, I'd say, had a 2 to 3 times increase in popularity in the last month or so. Engineering bay blocking the third. It was always a thing, but not too many players were using it. But nowadays, like, I think more often than not, when they get the opportunity, Terran players are NG bay blocking the third. They're taking their tips like, it took Terran players how many, 10 years to learn from Protoss. You know how much Zergs hate it when you block their third? Clem is sitting here with a 5 HP Reaper and no fear as the Queen. Brenda! Where did he go? He's obviously faster than us, Karen. God. Maybe you should have laid down the creep tumor faster. I just, like, I feel that Reaper standing at the edge of Queen range with 5 HP, one attack away from death. And then throwing the grenade, moving back a couple inches, and then holding again. I feel that describes Clem. Not like they're gonna hit me, why should I be scared? And that last game kind of embodied that as well, with the way he moved his units and committed to smaller attacks. This time Reynor is opting for Overlord speed. Really, I should practice what I preach, but I think Overlord speed is almost mandatory. If you don't, unless you want to be the person who's like, well, I didn't know they were going Battlecruiser. It's like, well, that's kind of your fault. But I liked Overlord speed when it was 75 minerals and 75 gas, but now they put it back to full price. It's no longer on sale anymore at 100. Psh. Way too much. Way too much. Unthinkable. One whole main link more? 2 Evo chambers way quicker than NG base here. Is it going to be bio? Yes. But this means a delay in the lair, more than likely. So the trade-off with this is I'm going to get my upgrades, but my lair/baneling speed is going to be slower. I think this is partially due to the map, where Eternal Empire, the rush distance is longer. The threat of siege tank pushes is less. You're less worried about having that baneling speed in a timely manner, but you should be pretty worried about Liberator slaughtering your drones! Sorry for yelling. Oh my god! Well, we caught the tail end of that. No, it appears he just left the Liberator there. I don't know if that was intentional. Now the Hellions are running by. An interesting grenade. 9 drones have died, which is a significant number, but he did lose everything. He lost the Hellions, the Reaper, and the Liberator. So, if you're Reynor, you feel okay, I think. Like, you don't losing drones isn't fun. He lost 19 lings as well, but now he's not. Clem can't do anything for another solid, like, till about 7 minutes at least. Clem's not moving out, so that gives Reynor some free time to punch out that drone count, get to 65, 70 drones, and now we're playing mid game. We're kind of just skipping to it. Whoop. Nope. One siege tank on the high ground, of course, is enough to turn those lings around. He's just going to send out the double drop. +1/+1 and combat shields aren't done. But Clem is preempting even what I thought he would move out at. He says, well, when I get there, they'll be done. Reynor says, well, I'd like to see you try. And now the great dance begins. 16 Stim Marines with, well, once they have 1/1 in combat shield is done, they can kind of take unlimited, well, the Zerglings have 1/1. Okay. If the Zerglings didn't have 1-1, I'd say the Marines could just win almost any fight against Zerglings. But since they do, Clem picks everyone up and gets them out. What a guy. Meanwhile, everything's coming together. Clem is chugging towards that 200 supply 2-2 timing. He's not slowing down at all at home, despite what he's doing out on the map. Of course, Reynor, no pushover either. He's got the 2-2 even quicker, as has a tendency to happen when you start those Evo chambers so early. Oh, come on. Boo! Boo! Of all the places. Meanwhile, did I say 2-2 timing? I meant right now. Hello, hello, siege tanks. Baneling speed is just barely done. 2-2's a long way off for both sides. Reynor has 76 drones, but this is his only 4th. Zerglings are cutting off reinforcements. Good moves there, but there are 4 tanks. 4 tanks and plenty of Marines and Medivacs. There's just not enough units here for Reynor. Reynor, he really wants to hold on to this base. He's going to try a flank. This could go... Clem is already prepared. Here comes Reynor. Only some of his units on the creep. Bringing the Banelings past. As long as he gets the tanks, he might be able to pull back. The Marines stand their ground. With no Banelings left, there's only one. The Queens. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Those are the only Banes. If he targets the Bane, he doesn't get it. That Baneling just saved Reynor. I think I can confidently say if that Baneling gets targeted down, he loses so many more lanes. Oh my. It's not like Clem has been doing nothing at home. He's like, well, that's my attack. I guess I'm screwed now. No, of course not. Clem is up 10 army supply. He's even on work. He's ahead on workers. He's got 2-2 drilling claws, +1 mech armor, concussive shells, 3 more racks, a planetary fortress, some Widowmine's tank, a couple SCVs on top. He's been a little busy. Is that the first Reaper? No, he built another Reaper, the accidental Reaper. Bradley, the accidental Reaper, making a cameo appearance in the second game. Drilling Claw's not done. He picks up the Marines that he can get a hold of. The start of that fight didn't go incredible. It might be for the grenade micro, yeah. If it is, I can't believe that. I refuse. Okay. Oh, Widowmine takes a big chunk. Reynor this time has opted for Hydralisks. Less of a muta risk. He has 81 drones, but 81 SCVs. Right now, Clem. Now, you gotta look at the numbers. 500 extra income isn't a huge deal. If it's over 1,000, well, there you go. Trying to draw out a Widowmine. Oh! Of course. Drilling Claws is done now, too, so... battle's big and small throughout the map. Clem guns down any Marines. I mean, not Marines. Any Zerglings who have the audacity to get close. Hydralings and Banes. Reynor's maxed. He's got a hive done. Adrenal glands on the way. +3 carapace. 3-3 already on point for Clem. He's got a drop ready to clear some creep. He will. The Lings to respond. Here we go. Hydraling Bane a little bit more stable. Oh, the Widowmines don't find huge connections. Decent one there. The Queen's getting involved. Brenda, get out of the way! Oh, the Hydras can't get by. Zerglings cleaning up Marines and Marauders. By the way, taking this left side 4th base. Clem deciding not to take the Rich Vespine base, at least not yet. This gives him kind of a rally point, a forward operating base to attack Reynor's bases. So almost everyone, I'd say 90% of games, people just take this as a fort. But Clem says, no. This, like, his bases are on that side. I would like to have a place to fall back to that isn't my main or my natural. Things are cleaned up. 11 SCVs went down. Reynor's at 90 drones. Fusion cores on the way, I assume for advanced ballistics. Hydras, Lings, and Banes still. Reynor has plenty on both sides. Both players are splitting their units across the map because everything's on the table right now with these players. Units could be showing up at almost any base. The duel continues. A couple tanks are going to help hold this position, but Reynor has not been focusing on that only. He has Lings and Mains. This is a planetary. That means it's going to be tough to deal with. +3 finishing up. Reynor not too far behind, but Vipers have joined the field. Abduct, Parasitic Bomb for the Medivacs isn't terrible either. Advanced Ballistics, Ghosts, more starports, gases across the board. Clem is stimming forward. He's kind of missed the point here. He's going to find it now, but does he have time to react to this? Oh, the Lynx, he's going to try to pick up. He does. Not very many survivors. But Reynor ate some big tank shots. 16 kills on one tank, 9 on another. But losing those units means Reynor now has an opportunity to maybe move in and kill this base. Does he have enough? Yes! The Bandlings survived just enough to kill the planetary and 5 SCVs alongside it. 2 more command centers on the way. One has already been landed to the south. Clem pushing forward. He's working both angles, but so is Reynor. That high ground, those high ground siege tanks. Is there enough bio here? +3 Carapace is done. He's really leaning on that. The Queen's even getting involved. Where are the transfuses? The tanks are gone. The Medivacs are out of energy. Clem is stimming and microing so much. His Medivacs are constantly drained on energy. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That just shows how active he is at essentially all times. The Vipers are full on energy. A few Broodlords show up to the party. 4 Broodlords. Now, the key for the Broodlords is not... It's for the Widowmines. The Widowmines, well, a couple nibbly boys come down from those Broodlords. The Broodlings can trigger the mines or friendly fire. Like, the factory units with the Broods can be turned against the Terran. That is the big strength here, with even just a couple. Parasitic Bomb on the Medivacs. Yanks a tank. Couple Liberators siege up. Reynor push back for now. Clem brought his forces from his 4th down to defend, and now he's starting to overwhelm this army. Will Reynor decide to move in? The Brood Lords, they take their sweet, sweet time. Manlings finding their way in. Marines and Marauders setting up. Clem has a nice entrenched position. Broodlords are going to change the whole equation. Wait, no, maybe they're not. He has ghosts already. I think they were for the Vipers, but suddenly this base is looking a little juicier. The Ghost Academy is kind of awkwardly in front of things. It looks like it will die. We're in a semi-base trade here. Clem finding some snipes on the Broods. The Broods are left alone. He drops down a few more Broodlings. He's trying to box them out, even the Queen getting involved. The Broodlords are nearly gone. So is Clem's base as well. But who comes out on the better side of this exchange? With the Broodlords gone, where is the rest? Reynor's at 177 supply. Where is his army? The Liberators are making things difficult. He's got 3 of them. He's trying to kill Medivacs. He might be able to pick up and get out. Oh my god. Clem still maintains near 200 supply after sniping the Broodlords. This base is still intact, but for how long? Losing the base on the left side is tough, but it's not nearly game-ending. He still has 2 to the south. He somehow ran by and evacuated. He reached the evac point. Reynor's not out of this yet. He still has a lot of bases. He's rebuilt some Broodlords. The Spore Crawler's starting to zone things out. Parasitic Bomb could be helpful. Also, maybe some yanks on the... Oh, the Broods, 1 snipe. Not enough to kill. Getting a little closer. I don't know if there's enough energy for more snipes. He has to build another Ghost Academy, but the Ghosts he does have. 1, 2. Broodlord's getting sniped away, and Clem has found the space to get some more units out here. He's looking to the top left corner. It's almost like he's expecting Reynor to potentially have this. Is Reynor really on this as his freshest base? Yes, and he's desperately trying to hold it. The army is picked up. The Zerglings come to defend. But for how long? And at what cost? The Hydra's doing a decent job against most of the air. The drops are heading towards the main. They've slipped behind enemy lines. The Liberators move a little forward. One moves back. The Brood Lords. Reynor in a very difficult spot. He's getting pinched from both sides right now. And then the snipes come up. 1, 2 broods. And he picks up and saves the goals! And also all of the units in the medevacs. It gets the base. It's all falling apart for Reynor. He's going to lose 1 medevac. Oh, he's going to get the Hydra done. Clem. The quadruple pronged pressure. Get your pitchforks out if Clem doesn't already have a monopoly on them. As he's making these units, look, he's making them work so hard. And right now, what does Reynor even have? He lost his Hydra Den. The Rich Vespine is mined out. Clem has taken the income lead. Reynor is struggling to field a maxed out army. And, well, Clem says, well, what else can I do? That's a great question, my French friend. 3 nuclear missiles are in production. He's just freeing up supply from our ghosts, obviously. Oh, beautiful fungals! Oh, catching so much. Reynor ain't done yet. Widowmines take huge chunks out of the ground army. But Parasitic Bomb as well. Fungals show up to the party even though they weren't invited, but they're crashing it. The Parasitic Bombs do a lot of damage. Line Corruptors to snipe off, but... Oh, what? Where did those Banelings... Does he have Burrow? Those are Burrowed Banes! Now the Ghosts are on the run. There's still some Widowmine action. He draws the Widowmine into the Ghost. Reynor strikes back. He was not ready for the Fungals. But Clem has... He's up 1,800 income per minute. Mostly in minerals, but also, well, Reynor needs to get more gas. Reynor still isn't maxed, whereas, honestly, that just delayed. I don't want to say inevitable, but Reynor has 1 base to work with. And Clem has plans for that base. Whereas, Clem has, I mean. Surprised he didn't cloak it in time. That goes at full energy. Not full HP. Didn't go to medical school. It went to nuclear engineering or something. Dun, dun, dun. Nibbly boys! This is a very optimistic command center. Are we getting hazard pay for this? I don't... The Liberator trying to find a safe spot to hand off the parasite. There's only 5 units here. Nuclear launch detected! Get off my lawn! Says Clem. That's one way to clear creep tumors. I mean, he can kind of... Oh, he whiffs. Where could it be? Oh, he missed the fungal, so he has to evacuate the whole base. Very sad drone. And now where do you go? What do you do as Reynor? Is that worth? He keeps selecting it like, I want something, but that'll probably distract him the rest of the game. The army of Clem is essentially Ghost Liberator. Dun 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 dun. The most effective Zergling in this game. Meanwhile, nuclear launches! All throughout the bases. Clem is raining it down. Reynor is maxed out, but what can he do? Looks like one ghost was taken out before it could launch. Okay. He gets out before the snipes. That queen is very unhappy about that. Meanwhile, Clem, a Lingbane army. Reynor, to his credit, holding on a lot harder. He's not giving this up. We've gone late game. Oh, that gas geyser was very important. But enough Lingbanes to take out a planetary. The nuke is slowly chipping away. Well, nuke's not so slowly chipping away at the hatchery. 14 SCVs went down with that base, but I don't think Clem's gonna... Oh, the Baneling bot! Instant replay. What is going on with those Banelings? Sounded more dramatic than it was. They have a weird look. Oh, go. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go, Reynor? Reynor. I'm sorry, I get stressed out. Oh, the snipes! Oh, the firing squad across the board! The ghosts! Decimating the army. Oh, the snipe's doing more damage than a nuke could. He's really... But he's baiting him into the snipes! What a play! He has to give up the base. He has to get out. Lings are desperate. Like, Reynor... Well, the income is just not favoring him. And the gas income is real rough for Reynor right now. Especially. Zerglings just aren't cutting it. Like, this is not the time for... This is not the age of Zerglings. You know. Some Lingbane. Oh, the ghost. I think it canceled the nuke. The nuke has now flown off into the sunset. Nuke the sun! Isn't the sun just one big nuke? Shut up! What does Reynor do? Like, it's been a prolonged death animation, in my opinion. He has to kill the Ghosts and Liberators twice to make this a thing. Oh, he's really... The fungals... Like, he has to get a great fungal somehow, despite the liberation zones. And then kill the Ghosts, and then kill them again. And if he can do that... Okay. I mean, he's setting himself up for it. And then Clem's starting to run out of money. He's actually kind of a little mining out some of these bases. He's mined out of the Rich Vespine. Is it time for a nuke? Snipe! Snibbly boys! The Broodlings did well. A couple return fire snipes, but I think that was a decent trade. Again. Oh, throws out the shockwave! Oh, the Vipers. He just snipes it with 3 just in case one of them doesn't make it. Wait, what did I just do? What is this key that zooms out even more? Oh. Oh, God! He lost them all! All of them! All of the ghosts! Is it enough? Okay, there's one. There's one left. The snipe, that one last ghost, the last survivor, hit the Viper, but the Viper didn't have energy, so it wasn't the end of the world, but... The Corruptors can caustic spray. There's a Marine... Once the high-tech units are gone, the low-tech units once again take center stage, as Clem comes in with 3 medevacs, a Marine Marauder. And what is there to contest? He's got 8 lings. What, are Broodlords gonna come back? The entire tech tree cut off at the stump. Or the bottom. You get it. The Greater Spire, the spawning pool, the infestation pit, the hive. Wait, a fungal. Oh, the banelings. And it's just barely enough. Reynor scratches his way out. By his probably well-manicured fingernails. That nuke, like, can he see the dot? Yes, yes. Oh, he doesn't have detection! He doesn't have detection for the ghost, though! Meanwhile, Clem is expanding to this base. The ghost walked into its own nuke. Nearly self-immolated. Nuke the sun! Meanwhile, Clem's actually... Oh no, Reynor didn't see it. A body blow. To the sun! He moved the ghost. It doesn't even have cloak. The drones could kill it! Oh. See you later, boys. That was a one-way trip. Oh, Infestor? Gone. Reynor bottled up into what he has left. You ever seen Ghost? Oh, Nibblies? Oh! So much going on there. Did he just hit his own creep tumor to get broodlings out? Next level plays. It's not gonna matter. Right now, Reynor is cannibalizing himself to get broodlings out. He's desperate. What's going on with this creep? Oh, finds a snipe. The broodlings show up. Does he even have enough for, like, overseers? How is Reynor still in this game? He has to run between planetaries looking for something. Meanwhile, this base is happening. These more broodlords. There's an infestor in there. Oh my god. See you later, boys. No! Never say die, he says while dead. How spooky. It's like he's a ghost. Good luck with that one, Reynor. We're still contesting this base. Half an hour later, give or take. He's making Banes, but do Banes kill Liberator Thor? I mean, technically. Oh. Fungal! Clem is... well, there are no planetaries here. Wait a second. Reynor found something! He found something, everyone! He found real damage! This is real damage. I mean... So are tanks hitting Zerglings. Oh, the firing squad! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! Some of them get delayed by damage. They couldn't steadily target. Meanwhile, 4 CCs lift up, which kind of explains... He's scanning to get one more tank shot. Oh, God. The Venn diagram of freedom. Reynor bleeds out. He adds the second G to his first. And Clem, in a much 827 Zerglings. Clem, with a well and hard-fought battle showing he can go the distance. Reynor holding on, but Clem looking like he outplayed him in both games. What do you think? Who's the great young prodigy? Will Clem's rise overshadow Reynor? Or will Reynor battle back? Thank you to Wardy for his incredible replay packs. Did you know for only $5 a month, you can subscribe to Wardy at twitch.tv/Wardy. Check him out. He's on all the time. And then you can get all of the replays, which you can then monetize for way more than $5. So amazing. Thank you, Wardy. Keep it up. And what do you guys think? Does Zerg have a chance? Should they be nerfed? Leave your comments. Like and subscribe and ring all the bells. Thank you for watching. Good luck and have fun.